Welcome to Easy Drive channel. If today is your first time of watching my video, please like, subscribe and share so you can get notified when I upload the next video. Today we are going to be looking at Signali, Orizzontali, which are called horizontal signs in English. Signali, Orizzontali, horizontal sign. These are horizontal signs because they are marked on the pavement. These are kind of vertical signs. So any sign that is placed on the pole, peg on the floor, that is standing vertically, they are all vertical sign. Be presidential sign, be pericolo sign, be indicazione. As far as it's peg on the pole and is standing tall, as like this one is an example of a vertical sign. But the ones that are marked on the floor, they are called horizontal signs. So a sign can have its vertical and have its horizontal. That's why I use this one for example. Like this one is a vertical sign and the sign is saying give way, dare la presidencia. Look at it again. This is on the floor. It's telling you to give way again. So in case, for instance, for people that did not see the vertical or probably a vehicle, they park very close to the vertical sign that you cannot even see it, but at least this one on the floor you can also see in the case of that one. And I want us to quickly notify something. There, you can, even if you see the only vertical part of the sign and the horizontal markings are not there, sometimes those horizontal signs might be there, sometimes they will clean off, sometimes they have not repent them. So it's not an excuse because you were expecting them to display it vertically and horizontally. No. So even if you also see it on the floor and probably one of the vehicle have broken down the vertical type, so you cannot also use that as an excuse. So anyone that you see, you have to respect the sign. So the first thing we are looking at here today is linear continua. Linear continua. Look at it here. The right strisce di corsia e di separazione di sensi di marcia. So this linear continua here is used to divide the carriageway into lanes, which is it divides the carreggiata into corsia. But it is continua and they don't expect you to drive on across it. So that is why they make it continua. Anytime you see a cross line, I'm talking about the middle line on this figure, the middle line, this one that divides the carriageway into two. So some vehicles are coming and while some will be going. So they don't expect you to overtake in the presence of this kind of line. But in the case of a line that is strateggiate like this, you can overtake. This one is called linear discontinua, or you can call it strateggiate. So you can overtake. Then this yellow line, anytime you see a yellow lane, a lane that is marked with yellow, there are two things involved. If the lane is marked with yellow and it is reserved for a particular category of vehicle, they will write it on the pavement. You will see maybe they will write bus or taxi on the lane, so you will know that it is a particular lane that is reserved for public use or taxi. So maybe police officers on duty, disabled on the, like maybe they might exempt some vehicle that can drive through that lane, but a normal vehicle cannot drive through such lane. Then another case where you will see a lane will be marked or road markings with yellow. Any road markings, whether pedestrians or lane that is marked with yellow, apart from those ones that are reserved for buses and taxi, in other situations you will know that they are temporary markings. Maybe they are walking on that road, so they will mark that area with yellow. They are just telling you things to obey for now, but with time, when they finish working on that road, they will clean those yellow and remark it with white. So in this case, if you look at this picture, you will see that this one have strateggiate and continua. So what they are saying here, for the vehicle that is going towards this direction, like this black vehicle, it can overtake because on its own side is strateggiate. But vehicle that is coming from the opposite direction are not allowed to overtake because it has a continuous line on its own side called linear continua. So this one have this continua on its side. So This black car now can overtake at this spot, but the vehicle on the other lane cannot overtake because their side is continual. This is example of what I said earlier on, like this yellow lane is reserved for the use of bus, taxi. Then street share the margin. Now we are not talking about the margin line at the edge of the road. It's always continual. So it's always continual. That is, it's a continuous margin line. It's not strategized. So anywhere you see that the margin line is straight like this, linear, continual like this one on the picture, they don't expect you to join the road from there or leave the road from there, except in the cases of emergency, maybe your vehicle has fault or for any other emergency reason. But it's not a place that is naturally made for you to climb. So I said I always look at white continuous line as a fence. So they use this like a form of a fence on the road. There are places that they don't want you to drive across. So they use it to guide you, telling you to stay on your lane. You are not permitted to leave this place, this lane, as far as this line continue. So in this case, you cannot join. But now look at this case. This is Piazzola di Sosta. Look at the place where you can enter the Piazzola di Sosta. They now use strategized there. So that is to show that here it is, you can join Piazzola di Sosta. But remember that it's not only on emergency cases that you can park on Piazzola di Sosta. So you can park to rest, you can park to maybe you have an important call, you can park and make your call, then you join the road again. That is why you see the line that they use on the margin of the road at that particular point of the Piazzola di Sosta is strategized. Look at this one. It's called Striscia di Raccordo. Striscia di Raccordo. They describe it as Striscia continua oblique di Raccordo. They are talking about this white line here. These white lines that are in this place. There are places they don't expect you to drive on. They don't expect you to drive on places like this. So they in this case on this picture, they are turning two lanes into one. So they use those lines to direct vehicles so that they can merge together on one lane, because they don't expect any driver with his right senses to drive on top of this Striscia di Raccordo. Strisce di guida negli incroci. We are talking about these lines. Strisce di guida at the junction. So what they are saying now, if you watch this first one, 506, this figure 506, you will see that before the junction, they have two continuous lines that is keeping everybody to their own carriageway. Sorry, to their own lanes, because this is one carriageway. The road is one carriageway actually. So they use these two white lines to be keeping each vehicles to their own lane. This lane now have two. I'm talking about this one. It has two lanes to each direction. So at this junction, you see now they now use linear strategized, which is discontinuous at the junction. That is to show that in this kind of road, if you see it like this on the junction, it permits you to turn to any direction. Even if you are coming from your right, you can turn to your left, you can turn to anywhere, because the junction is actually discontinuous. Then you will now look at this case. This case is telling you exactly how you are going to make your maneuver while you are turning from to your left. While turning to the left, you are going to make the maneuver with the two, like for instance, two vehicles are turning to their left that are coming from opposite direction. The two of them are going to turn to their left without obstructing each other, without intersecting each other. Meaning, how I used to describe this one, the best way I can describe it, the two vehicles will be turning, making their maneuver, while the two passenger side will be closer to each other. The two passengers will be closer to each other, while the driver and the other driver of the other vehicle will be far from each other. Meaning they are not turning the same way you turn at the roundabout. So you just turn and follow your own left, and the other guy will just follow his own left. Nobody will intercept anybody. That is what this sign means. So for clarification, for the people that are following me, that we are doing our classes together, in case you need clarification, I can clarify you more with more illustrations. But I believe it is clear enough like that. So striscia trasversali or linea di arresto, they are talking about this white line at this junction that is like in the case of stop, there's always white line on the floor where you need to stop. You don't need to cross the white line before you stop. You need to stop very close to the white line, then you look at the right, look at the left. If it is clear, then you will now continue. So, and that the same thing applies in case of traffic light. So the line is always on the floor. You have to stop before the white line. If the traffic light turns red, it's called striscia trasversale or linea di arresto. Attraversamenti pedonale. So if you see this one, this is everybody knows this one. This is zebra crossing. It's pedestrian crossing. So that it is. He also have his own vertical signs. Look at it very close to it. The blue and the red. Those ones they will be placed on the pole. The blue in correspondenza, while the red is 150 meters to the crossing. So those are verticals. But now at the crossing, they use paint to indicate the horizontal type of attraversamento pedonale. So you cannot say you did not see that people are crossing there. Even if you did not see the sign, you should see the horizontal markings on the floor. Attraversamento ciclabile. Look at it. They also place very close to it the vertical type. They place it there, blue and red. Then the horizontal one should also always be on the pavement. It is for bicycles that are crossing. That's why they call it attraversamenti ciclabili. Then this one is very important also. Strisce di delimitazione degli stati di sosta. There are some parking where you park without they did not mark a bus for you. You just park and park it on any space that is available. But there are also some parking which they mark like this white parkings where you have this black car. I don't know if it's black. This black car that is parking. That is this figure, this picture one. So it is a place where you don't just park anyhow you want to park. You have to make sure that your car fits into one bus. If you park into two bus by obstructing two parking, they will penalize you. If visually are passing, they will penalize you. Then look at this blue side. The blue parking here is not a free parking. It's a pay parking zone. It depends on the zone, it depends on the price. You will see a board that will be displaying the amount you need to pay per hour. So you just look for the machine around there, put some coin inside, and depends on how much you put, depends on how long you are going to stay. You extend your time, then print out the ticket, put it on the front of the glass. You will be free. But if you did not place any ticket on the front of the glass, before you come, you will meet the motor. They will hang it at your wiper. So just go enter bus and pay. This one here is a sign of a bus stop, and the zigzag here is meant to facilitate the parking and the leaving of the bus. So that means if the bus want to park, it need this zigzag to be able to fit into the space. So in absence of this zigzag, you are supposed to keep 15 meters before and after the bus stop, meaning you cannot park 15 meters before and after the bus stop when there is no zigzag. So in this case, they use that zigzag to remove that 15 meters. So you can see that zigzag have occupied a space of 15 meters. And another thing they can say in the quiz is that you cannot drive through this place. It is fast, so you can drive through this bus stop. You can drive through this color on the ground, on the floor. So another thing again is they will tell you cannot do fermata. So it's fast, so because you can do fermata, you can ferma, but the only thing you cannot do here, you cannot sosta on the line that is reserved for the bus stop. Così specializzati e frecce di direzione. These are special lanes and they have their own arrows that are directing you. If you are going straight, you have to be at the middle. If you are going straight, you either be at the right lane or be at the middle. If you are turning left, you have to be at the third lane, the inner lane, which has an arrow pointing through the left side. So for people going straight, you cannot just find yourself in the third lane. So, and if you are changing lanes to the lane at which you are going to, depends on where the arrow is taking you to. You have to make your maneuver before you reach the linear continuum, because there's a question like that on this quiz that will tell you that you have to make your maneuver before you get to the linear continuum is true. You can, if you are too close to the junction where the line is no longer strategized, you cannot change the lane again. So what you need to do in that case, follow the arrows, go to the direction the arrow is pointing you to, then go and look for another way to continue back to where you were originally going to. This one is another way of telling you no parking. Apart from the other no parking we all know in the Signali, the vertical signs. But this one is the horizontal way of telling you no parking. Then paint the edge of the marciapiede with yellow and black. If you see it anywhere, don't park your car at that particular place. This is another way they are telling you, this is the horizontal way of telling you that you are crossing the railway track. You are crossing the railway track. It's called passaggio a livello. So Signaletica Orizzontali di passaggio a livello. Look at it, PL, passaggio a livello. So if you see this one on the floor, you see this crochet, this Santander, then I draw it again on the floor. For people that will not see the one that they place close to it, they will see the one on the floor to know that you are crossing a railway line. So then look at artery iscrizione regolamenti. Quickly, before I forget, let me quickly remember something to tell you. If you see any parking that is marked with yellow, it is a place that they don't expect you to park as a regular driver or a regular road user. They don't expect you to park. It's a reserved parking, probably for disabled. In most cases, they always put inside the reason why the yellow parking is reserved. In most cases, if it is for people with disabilities, they will draw the wheelchair inside and you will see it. Then if it is for loading and offloading, you know, some people that have shop, they go to Comune and they reserve space for them to do their loading and offloading on their own business basis. So if you see the place like that, it's marked with yellow. Sometimes they will draw Carello inside. That's to show that they are loading and offloading in that place. So if you park there, they visually meet you there, they penalize you. But in the case of disabled, they will not just only penalize you, they are going to take some of your points in your license. So there are places that are reserved for special vehicles. In this case, they write Pisa on the floor. So for people going to Pisa, continue straight. Look at arrow on the front of Pisa is facing straight. They are directing you, just like the indication sign we also do. Like here now, as you are seeing Pisa on the floor, if you look at the right side of it, it's not very clear. But if you look at the right side, you will see that they write Pisa on the vertical signpost here. So it is directing people to their various directions. So they can write, if you are going to Torino, you may get to a place, they will write it on the floor, tell you to turn left. So they can also draw most of these signs that they put on the board. They can also draw them on the floor. So I believe this is the last thing we are going to be talking about. It's called Signali Strisce oblique bianchi e neri. So what this sign is talking about, it said Signali Strisce oblique bianchi e neri apposito su superficie verticali possono indicare ostacoli posti vicino ad entro della carreggiata, un punto critico stradale, il ciclo di una marciapiede. Like what they are trying to tell you is that those are places that they don't want you to go close to, and they can also use it to indicate a very dangerous point of the road. Look at this place now. Look at the curve. The curve is the range of the curve is very, very narrow in this place. So look at it. They put white and black on the edge of that road. So you can also indicate places where they don't want you to go to, because people are using leg to walk on top of that particular place. So white and black on the edge of the road is telling you different things, but all of them means that stay clear from that road, attentive, be very careful with that place. So you can indicate a curve, you can indicate marciapiedi. So I believe that is all about segnalazione orizzontale, signality orizzontale, horizontal signs. So remember to like, subscribe to this channel so you can be notified in case I upload any other video. Thank you very much. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for the good comment. And in case you have any questions whatsoever, you can drop it on the comment section and I will reach out to you. So whenever I'm having a fresh class, because if I'm through with the people I'm I'm teaching for the Italian driver's license now. I will also post it on the video for me to gather other people for the online class. So it's actually a free class just for us to help ourselves to move forward as far as the road is concerned. Thank you for watching. See you some other time. Bye.